In a time when knowledge was limited and the tools of science were yet to be discovered, a book was revealed in the desert, one that spoke not only to the hearts of people, but also hinted at the mysteries of the universe. This book, the Quran, contains verses that describe natural phenomena in ways that continue to intrigue scientists and thinkers today. From the formation of the human embryo, to the expansion of the universe, to the barriers between seas, these verses invite reflection. They do not present themselves as textbooks of science, yet they point toward truths that humanity would only come to understand centuries later. In today's scientific world, where discovery is driven by observation and experimentation, these verses raise an important question. How could such knowledge exist in a time when such tools did not? Why would these signs be placed within a spiritual text? Were these words simply the thoughts of a man, or do they point to something beyond human ability? As we explore these scientific signs, we are not only uncovering facts, we are being invited to think, to question, and to reflect. Perhaps the purpose of these verses is not just to inform, but to awaken curiosity and guide the mind toward a deeper truth. So let us begin this journey with an open heart and a thoughtful mind, and ask ourselves, what do these signs truly mean? Long before modern science began to study the origins of the universe, a verse was revealed in the Quran. The heavens and the earth were joined together. Then we split them apart. 21 to 30. In simple words, it describes a beginning where everything was once united, then separated. Today, scientists speak of a similar idea. The universe starting from a single point, then expanding outward. This raises a powerful question. How could such a concept be mentioned at a time when no one had the means to observe or measure the cosmos? In today's scientific world, this verse stands as a sign that invites reflection. It is not a scientific theory, yet it points toward a reality that science continues to explore. It reminds us that knowledge is not only discovered in laboratories, but also revealed for people to think deeply about. Why would such a message be placed in the Quran? Perhaps it is not just to inform, but to guide, to encourage an insan to look beyond what is seen and to reflect on the origin of everything. Could these words have come from the Prophet himself in a time without telescopes or advanced knowledge? Or do they point to a source beyond human understanding? As we reflect on this verse, we are invited to pause and think. The universe is vast, its beginnings still a mystery. And within a simple line of revelation lies a message that continues to echo through time. Is it merely coincidence or a sign meant for those who are willing to ponder? Centuries ago, in a time when the night sky was only observed with the naked eye, a verse was revealed in the Quran. We have built the universe with might, and we are expanding it. 51 Sforsem. In plain words, it speaks of a universe that is not still, but growing, stretching beyond what we can see. Today, modern science confirms that the universe is indeed expanding, a discovery made only in recent times through powerful instruments and observation. In today's scientific world, this verse draws attention. It is not presented as a scientific explanation, yet it points to a reality that humanity uncovered much later. This raises a thoughtful question. How could such an idea be known in a time without telescopes, data, or advanced study of the cosmos? Why would such words be revealed in the Quran? Perhaps they are signs, meant to inspire reflection, to encourage an insan to observe, to question, and to seek understanding beyond the surface. Could these words have come from the Prophet himself, or do they point to knowledge beyond human reach? As we reflect on this verse, we are invited to think deeply. The universe continues to expand, and with it, our understanding. Yet, within a simple line revealed long ago, lies a message that still speaks to us today. Is it a coincidence of words, or a sign waiting for us to ponder? In a time when people shaped tools with their hands but knew little about the origin of the materials they used, a verse was revealed in the Quran. And we sent down iron, in which is strong material. In simple words, it speaks of iron as something sent down. Today, science tells us that much of the iron on Earth was formed in the hearts of stars and reached our planet through meteorites long ago. This idea, that iron has an origin beyond the Earth, was unknown to people at the time. In today's scientific world, this verse invites reflection. It is not a scientific explanation, yet it points toward a reality that humanity only discovered centuries later. This raises a question. How could such a concept be mentioned in an age without modern knowledge of space or elements? Why would such a message be included in the Quran? Perhaps it is a sign, not just to inform, but to make people think, to look deeper into the world around them, and to recognize the hidden order in creation. Could these words have come from the prophet himself, or do they reflect knowledge beyond human understanding? As we reflect on this verse, we are reminded that even the strongest materials we depend on have a story that reaches far beyond us. And within a simple line revealed long ago lies a message that still speaks today. Is it just a statement or a sign inviting us to pause, reflect, and ponder? Time when human development was hidden from sight and beyond study, a verse was revealed in the Quran. We created man from a clinging substance, then we made him into a formed creature. 2014. In simple words, it describes stages, beginning from something that clings, then developing step by step into a complete human form. Today, embryology shows that the human embryo attaches itself to the womb and gradually develops through precise stages until it becomes fully formed. Centuries later, scientists like embryologist Keith L. Moore studied human development in detail and noted striking similarities between these stages and modern observations. Yet at the time this verse was revealed, there were no microscopes, no imaging tools, and no way to observe what happens inside the womb. In today's scientific world, this description invites reflection. It is not a scientific manual, yet it speaks in a way that aligns with what we now understand. This raises a deep question. How could such a process be described so meaningfully in a time without scientific knowledge? Why would such verses be revealed in the Quran? Perhaps they are signs, meant to guide people to reflect on their own creation, to recognize the complexity of life, and to think about the source of such knowledge. Could these words have come from the prophet himself, or do they point to something beyond human ability? As we reflect on this verse, we are reminded of our own beginnings, small, unseen, yet carefully formed. And within these simple words lies a message that continues to speak across time. Is it merely description, or a sign inviting us to pause, reflect, and truly ponder? In a time when rain was seen as a simple blessing from the sky, without understanding its full journey, a verse was revealed in the Quran. And we send water from the sky, and we give life thereby to a dead land. 25:48-49. In plain words, it describes how water comes down and brings life to dry, lifeless al-ard. Today, science explains this as part of the water cycle, a continuous process where water evaporates, forms clouds, returns as rain, and revives the earth. Centuries later, scientists like hydrologist Pierre Perrault in the year 1674 studied rainfall in rivers, helping to explain how water moves in a cycle across the earth. Yet at the time this verse was revealed, there were no instruments or systems to study such processes in detail. In today's scientific world, this description stands as a point of reflection. It is simple in words, yet deeply meaningful. It captures the essence of a cycle that sustains all life, long before it was scientifically understood. Why would such a message be revealed in the Quran? Perhaps it is a sign, not only to inform, but to remind people of the balance in nature and to encourage them to think about the source of this life-giving system. Could these words have come from the prophet himself, or do they reflect knowledge beyond human reach? As we reflect on this verse, we see how something as ordinary as rain carries an extraordinary meaning. And within these simple words lies a message that continues to echo through time. Is it just a description or a sign inviting us to pause, reflect, and truly ponder? We have reflected on signs, from the origin of the universe to its expansion, from iron sent to earth to the stages of human life and the cycle of water that sustains us. Each one simple in words, yet deep in meaning. Each one inviting not blind belief, but thoughtful reflection. These are not just statements to hear and move on from. They are signs placed in front of a thinking mind. Today, more than ever, human beings are equipped with powerful tools. The human brain itself is a remarkable creation, able to question, compare, analyze, and reach conclusions. And now, with the advancement of AI and access to global knowledge, the ability to research and verify facts is in the hands of almost everyone. You are not limited. You can read, you can study, You can explore both scientific discoveries and revealed words. You can examine patterns, question assumptions, and seek truth with clarity. So the question is no longer about lack of access. It is about choice. Will you reflect or ignore? Will you investigate or assume? Will you think deeply or simply follow? These verses are not forcing an answer. They are inviting a journey. Take the time to seek knowledge. Compare what you learn. Use your intellect honestly. Let your conclusions come from sincere effort, not habit or pressure. Because in the end, knowledge is yours to seek, and your life is yours to decide.